Hello there, my name is Vladimir, and in this video we're going to look on the enhanced versions of the Roop. And if you're not familiar with Roop, it is extension and stable diffusion that allowed us to swap faces. And we can do swap faces with a still image or animations, which we're going to look in this one. And the new extension is called Reactor, and this you can download it directly or you can install it through Automatic. So I'll show you what to do. And keep it in mind, this is not brand new. It is not something from ground up new. It is based on the Roop. It's different branch. It's add additional enhancements and additional processing. More about how it's changed you can read in the GitHub for these specific extensions. I will provide a link for you down below if you're interested. And if you do like this, be sure you support the developer, because it's very hard to actually monetize and make anything with YouTube right now. And this way you can kind of help the developer to create a new extension to keep on going. So it's just other way say thank you. Okay, so before installing, it's actually have some requirements for us to install it. And if you install Roop before, most likely you already have those elements installed. One, it's a Visual Studio. And in the subject right here, if you're going on a GitHub, you'll find very nice explanations. But general, keep in mind, you want to install or Visual Studio or VC++ build tool, or you can have it install VC or BT. So the steps all right here. And if you decide install Visual Studio, it's free for the community, so you can download it and use it for free. If you are in the future think you will develop a little bit more with this, I highly recommend Visual Studio. It's what I'm using to write code in Python, Angular, or any other languages that you prefer. Also, I would recommend install FFmpeg. Even it won't use in some cases, but it does help when we start work with animations to take all those frames and put it together. So if you're looking to animate in the future, this is applications for you to have, and it is free applications and you can download it. And as well, if you upload new applications, be sure to get it Shutter encoder, which allowed us to take videos, split on the frames. It's what we're going to use it, and take frames and put it back. And again, it's a free application. You are free to download it. If you want to support it, more than welcome. After downloaded and installation is completed of the applications, we can go ahead inside the Stable Diffusion, and I'm using Stable Diffusion Automatic 11.11 installation. In this case, we can go inside the extensions, and inside the extensions, go to Available tab, click Load, and search for Reactor. You should have this extension available for you. The one nice thing to verify it, you can go over Reactor, and on the bottom you can see it's have a path HTTP, GitHub, counterfeit, SD, Web Reactor. The same one what we have it here on the top, same path for these files. You also can go directly from here if you want it and copy path by clicking on a code. Copy the path, going to Stable Diffusion, and you can go install from URL and just paste inside this field. So both ways will work. But what we're going to do, just click Available, selecting, and click Install. Installations will download it many different libraries, which may take time. The best things for this to do, it's also monitors. In case when you start running, you will have it maybe error, and the problem is Roop is enabled, so you have this kind of errors coming up here. So in this way, what I want to do is going inside the install it, and before we install it, we go inside the Roop, like right here, and we will go ahead and disable. So let's go ahead, click Apply and Restart to disable Roop. It's possible you may occur another errors. So let's go ahead and look on some of those cases that may have a problem when you install it. Of course, if you don't have it any Visual Studio installed, you will have it errors and other things, and this will inform you. Also, you may have it errors when you try to install from the extensions, and it's mostly based on the rights to the folder, but it's okay. We'll figure out what we can do. So in this case, you can go install from URL. You can also try paste it here. Problem is, if you run this and you fail before, you will have an error which just says the Stable Diffusion extension already in use. So in this case, we need to go inside the file manager to this directory and remove. If you still have a problem with installations after you restarted, disable all the stuff, then probably some of the modules is outdated or missing. So the easiest way to do, if you can refer back to this link I provide down below, scroll down where it says if you have a problem, install it, and check the area where you need to run the command one by one. Most likely your library is not installed for inside phase, or on NNX runtime is missing. So this is an easy way to do. Just go ahead, open command prompt, copy and paste the strings or command that is going inside. So in this case, we can be sure we have everything up to date. We're going to copy each of these commands one by one, and we're going to install it. Be sure you're doing this in a right order and don't skip any of them. After all updates is completed, we can start our web UI server again. As I run through the multiple variations of installations, I found another problem you may have it, and it is if comes a error and says does not find specific file specifically in a model, you can actually manually to put this in. So you need to go inside the models, find a folder with a Roop, and inside the Roop you should have it inside Warper 128 Onyx. You can create additional directory or rename this to inside phase. So this is just a little bit hack how we can overcome that problem. After this, you should restart your server. If you restart it, you will notice everything will go update. And in the end, please pay attention, because right here can come up message and says please restart the server. If you don't have message and it says everything started is fine, you can use it. Otherwise, we do need to go ahead and close this server and start again. After you restart the server, you should have it options available now, Reactor down below. Let's go ahead and explore some of the properties. If we extend, you'll notice we have a downloaded image here, so we can upload our image. Also, we have an option to enable save original. We have it also face numbers start from 0 to 1, and we also have it which target we can replace it. Let's actually look how it's work. For this, we're actually going to use a text to image to replace. And actually, let me fix this. We have it one eye screen, dancing on a snow, close-up portrait, blonde hair, smiles. And we'll have this portrait. So let's go ahead and click to reuse this seed for the same image. Next, we need going and take some image and place it in. So I'm going to select one of my photos. We're going to enable. And we don't need to select any faces because we have only one face, and by default it will be 0 and first. We also have the option to detect gender, and this is different from the Roop that you might use it before, because you obviously have much more flexibility now. You can create multiple faces, replace specific faces, detect gender if needed, and also change gender on a replacement if you need it on a faces. Also, restore faces, we'll just leave it code format. Seems like work very nice for me. And restore visibility, leave it at 1, and code format weight, leave it on a half. Okay, after this done, be sure we enable. Let's go ahead and generate now. You'll notice generated, it should be exactly the same as we have it before. And now it's come to the point when it's take Reactor and replacing our face. And here we have it. Look on this face. It's actually worked very well. Very nice replacement and position. So let's try with multiple faces. For this, let's go switch to image. And I will take one of the image placed inside. I'm going to interrogate that clip. Be sure we have it properly strings here. Okay, after this, Let's select our properly width and height for the image. We leave it everything default, except maybe switch from Euler to card A. Let's pop up our steps to about maybe 50, just to be sure we have a very nice image rendered. And we're going inside the reactor, and we're going to upload my beautiful face. By the way, this is an image I was done after like 3 weeks of COVID isolation. If you remember that time when we was isolation, so I even create a foil head to protect my brain from possible radiation. Anyway, we'll go to enable this, ignore save original, and on the faces by default 0, so will be our first 0 one, and our target, because we have only one face, by default it will be this one first, so we don't have it. If we can upload actually image with two different faces, which we'll try a little bit later, and I want to leave it everything as default. So after this, let's go ahead, click generate, and here our generate image, there's a face with a beard and everything as I replace it. So I lost my foil head, but I think generally it's actually applied very well. Notice on another face, because it does not replace it, it's added here. We of course can go and replace with faces, target maybe 1 and 1 as well, just on one. Let's go ahead, try it and see if it will replace it both as well. Let's go, says no, let's go both female and males, and target same. Okay, let's go ahead, try this, and here's our result. You can see it's replaced on both models, replace it with one of my faces equally. So it's kind of nice because you can specify what and where faces you want to go. Let's try now a little bit more complex. So right here is different image that I take in a studio when we have fun kind of compositing work, and we have two faces, and we'll take a same image right here and we'll just swap those two images. So notice right here we have a comma separated number of the faces, and we'll have it 0 1, and to swap we'll put it 0 1. So actually let's go 1 comma 0. So we'll just go ahead and swap faces. We'll say swap this face with another face. Okay, we'll leave it everything as default right now, and I think simple steps, yeah, it should be all good. Be sure to take the noise string, just leave it 0.3, little bit down, and of course we can even take a little bit more down, so we have it more preserve of the image and less other stuff. And of course we have it slightly different options here, so I'm going to click interrogate that image again to replace our prompt string. Okay, and seems like it's done. Let's go ahead and click generate, and I did not done this before, so for all of us can be a little bit surprised. We'll see what's happened. And we can see preview right here. This is our original faces, and we'll come to time when the faces will be start swapping, and there you go. Notice it did swap the faces. We do have a little bit problem right here, and this is actually related to very low noise. We actually need pop-up noise, so it will work a little bit better. But it actually did a very good job. Look at this. Now we have a mustache from here to this face, and from this we'll go inside. I notice its glasses still be there, so it's kind of nice. It's a swap the faces but leave it some elements there. Okay, another options available for us, it's upscale. So we actually can go ahead and at the same time upscale this image as we're working with this. And let's work this way, restore faces, upscale. You can try and change, depend what you prefer, if you prefer first upscale and after restore faces. But in this case you will have a little bit blurry, I think, on the face, so you probably want to restore first and upscale after. And you can also see which one you like it. Generally R is Archon for X work okay, and as well as the lantern. So you can play around with different upscalers, see which one is work best for you. They're all different. but we can enable here and scale by 2. Let's go twice as big. As well, as I said before, we'll take denoise and let's go put denoise 3.5. So it should fix some of this like blending elements between faces. Everything else we leave default. Let's go on a scale, and we have just one model, so we don't need to worry about this. Okay, I think we're good here. Let's go ahead, try to render and see what we have. And here we have it, our upscale. I still have a problem right on top. I think it's having some hard time to try figure out, because it's have face right there, but head is kind of on top. And I think this, because missing information, it's kind of does. But it overall, you can see it's very nice. And it's of course upscale, so it's bigger size. It did a very good job on this. Let's go back to text image. Of course, we modify all of this stuff, but you'll notice we also have it beside Reactor. We have our control net available, and it's worked together. So if we go back to our control net expansion, and let's put some other image inside, we'll go click Enable Pixel Perfect for this, and we're going to create Open Pose for this. Be sure all of our models it's loading, and I want to have it the full pose, which is included head position, eyes, and other facial elements, as well as the hands. We'll go to control net, leave it more important on this case. Leave it everything else default. We also will use the image what we have before. Okay, 0, 0, all the same. We don't need to worry about upscale this time. Okay, let's go up. And a few things I want to do. I want to have it 768. So we have it more portrait mode, what we have right there. Simple 50. And scale about 7. I think let's go drop to 6.5. I think it's a little bit better performing. And I think the rest, it should be very good. Okay, let's go ahead and click Generate. And here we have our result, which is used our face from the React. And of course, it's using our control net. The next option is how we can animate. And we'll animate by using control net. So for this, we need switch to the batch file, and in input directory, you need specify where's location. So I'm going copy and paste location for the single frames. So this one, it's input, you don't want to use it. And for this, I do recommend use it shader encoder. And you remember, I'll give you a link how to about this encoder. And use it, it's very simple. You just launch application. Inside the applications, you want to go ahead and take your file, and let's see what file I have it here. Next, what we want to do, in the choose function, select JPEG, and notice right here we have our JPEG. Before start functions, we actually want to go ahead and select create image sequence. This way it will take video and separate on the frames. After this, just click Start Functions, and it will create those individual frames. After this, copy directory where you created. Inside the input directory, you can leave it everything default, because we still have it from a single image. But we have it inside here. Of course, we want to change a couple things, because it's not close-up portrait anymore. We can just put it dancing. And one thing, keep in mind, this Reactor, it is render everything for your suggestions. So if you don't want not safe for workplace images, be sure you put it in your negative prompt. And after you're done with the selecting batch files, just click Generate. In this case, it will be going and create it. You don't necessarily need just use it text to text. You can also do same things inside the image to image. And as it's rendering, you can notice right here, we have our model rendering in a pose we wanted. So it's take a little bit time to create, and I will post it later about the animation completed, but you already can see how close it is. And it's all does on the end, replace faces. So you can create same animations. After those frames is completed, you can open the shutter again. Take all of those files that created, put them inside the browser. Select the functions. We want to select our image, so H264, it will create MP4. This is a little bit different frames that I created before, because you'll notice the image still generating on a background. From this, we want to merge them together in one animations. For this, we're going to image sequence right here, and we can also select what we wanted. So we have animate, enable this. It says activate the image sequence, and you can select what frame rate you wanted. 25 for the pulse system, 30 for NTSC, and so on. For motion, maybe you want 24 frames. After this, you can click start function, and this will combine them all together in one animations. Well, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you found it interesting, and it's definitely more powerful than Roop, but remember, it's also based on a Roop system, so it won't be very dramatic changes, but it's much nicer enhancement. Okay, if you like this video, give us thumbs up, subscribe, let me know what you think.